They taste and smell like the flavor of a foot that's been in a sandal walking through the desert for a month and 5 days.
We're the Riffsters. It's a podcast and a rap show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Riffsters Podcast. Riffster Nation, Riffsterinos, Riffsteronis is what I'm gonna call you guys that watch the show. I keep forgetting the camera's right here. I gotta look in the camera so it looks like we're making eye contact. Anyway, yeah, as you can tell, I'm running solo today. My usual partners in crime are currently unavailable. Unfortunately, Dana was called away to go protect the local wildlife of the Amazon jungle from a band of ruthless yet somewhat redeemable poachers. So we'll see how that plays out, hopefully with an exciting third act. And Derek, unfortunately, got called away on a last-minute consulting job regarding Martian climate change. So they're doing those things that are real, and I did not make up right now for the purposes of entertainment. Very real reasons that they're not here. And I am left to man the fort and sort of put on a show for you guys, for you people that are never satisfied, you junkies who live off of the entertainment that we provide like it's a drug, like we're an opiate for the masses. But I digress. Yes, anyway, that was a long way of saying that I'm here talking to myself, literally myself, because no one's watching this live stream, but the show must go on. I think that's very important that we stay consistent with our live streaming. So if one of us is physically here, physically able to do it, you damn well better believe that we're going to do it. The only situation in which you won't get a Riffsters podcast is if the three of us are all on the ground, bleeding out, every limb is broken, every bone in our body shattered into a soft powder that some might use as a snorting tool, and we were physically unable to press keys on the keyboard. That's the only scenario in which you won't get a Riffsters podcast, that or certain holidays. So that's the good news, is that we'll always be around to bombard you with B- level entertainment. So that's good. Anyway, hey, I have one live viewer, and then they went away, and now I'm back to the loneliness that has pervaded my life since I was born into this dark black hole of endless despair. Anyway, let's jump in here. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different than we usually do on the show, given that I don't have two companions here to riff off of. I found this thing I keep looking at the wrong place. There's the camera. I found this list online that is like a list of funny questions, weird, random questions. So I figured I'd just start going through them and answering them. And if you guys want to answer them as well, please comment in. I'm reading your comments. You can't see it, but my computer's right here out of frame. Anyway, yeah, let's get started, since there's no point in wasting time because I'm talking to myself, which is not crazy because of the internet. So, let's see, funny questions to ask list. What is the sexiest and least sexiest name is the second question on the list. I'm going to be honest, I skipped the first question. I don't know why, not because it was bad, I just didn't read it actually. I should probably read the first question. What is the funniest name you've actually heard used in the real world? Yeah, that's a shitty question. Gonna skip to the second question, which is what is the sexiest name and what is the least sexiest name? That's a great question. The sexiest name is obviously Julian. See, this is the best part about doing this show solo, is there's no one around to dispute me or otherwise combat my rampant narcissism. Somebody gif this. Somebody make a meme out of this face. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, no, okay, but no, I'll be serious. What is the sexiest name? The sexiest name is, I don't know, probably something like Alexa or Siri. Basically any name that they give an AI tool nowadays, I think is probably the sexiest name, right? Like that's why they give AI, so they always give female AI sexy names. And the least sexy would probably be something like Helga, or like Olga or something, or like Martha. I don't know, a lot of those like 60s, 70s names. Although, now that I think about it, I think it would be really funny if they made AI, if they gave AI the names, like instead of giving them sexy names, if they gave AI really awful, really awful, ugly names. And then every time that you were trying to do something with your AI tool, you'd have to be like, bing, bing, hey, Janet, could you schedule me an appointment to get my nose hairs trimmed for tomorrow evening at 6 p.m.? Thanks, Janet. And then you go blink, blink, and it would be like, all right, I'll do it. I'll schedule it. I don't know. That's the voice that I imagine someone named Janet, who's an AI trapped in a computer. That's what I imagine their voice sounds like. So yeah, I guess that answers that question. Next question. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? Ooh, that's good. Let's see. What's the sport? What sport requires the most coordination? Because then that'll allow us to choose what sport would be the funniest with alcohol applied to it. So I think let's probably throw out football. Let's probably throw out basketball. I think hockey would be freaking hilarious with alcohol. But now that I think about it, I think actually tennis would be hilarious, because not only do they grunt, and that's funny in and of itself, and how serious they take it is funny, but if they were missing on top of that, can you imagine? Can you imagine if it was like every time the ball came, they swung and they missed, and the match would never go anywhere. There would never be a rally, and then everyone would cheer if they managed to get one ball back and forth, because it would be like, serve, and if they managed to get it over the net, the other person would be like, and they would completely miss if they were trashed, and then the whole crowd would be trashed like this. And then if someone managed to actually hit a ball back at any point, the entire crowd would be like, oh, he hit it, oh my god. God forbid they get two balls back and forth, or even like some semblance of a rally. I think tennis would be hilarious. Not to mention you'd be slipping around the court. You'd be like running backwards and forwards, trying to trip to get the ball. Fuck, that's awesome. I want to see that happen. I want to play that now. I want to play drunk tennis. But drunk hockey seems like it would just be dangerous, because someone would get their jugular. For sure, someone would get their jugular cut open on account of someone else flipping and an ice skate coming off. Because you know that the guy wouldn't have tied the ice skate to begin with in the locker room because he's drunk and he forgot. So then he would probably have it fly off if he fell or just was an idiot, and someone's going to get their neck cut, and it would be messy, and just all around feels like probably not that funny after further consideration. So we'll stick with tennis, I think, would be the answer. I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with tennis. That seems funny. Next question. What? No, I don't like that question. What? If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first? I like this question because I know exactly what my 5-year-old self would do. It would go to the Target. I don't know why I called it the Target. I think I was going to say the grocery store, and then I realized that wasn't what I was talking about. So I think I would go to the Target and basically blow my entire life savings on Legos. Like, probably all of it. Like, I think that version of me would just be like, well, I was actually a pretty good saver back then too. But I still kind of feel like I would just blow it all on Legos, you know what I mean? Like, I think I would just load up the basket because I always wanted to do that. I mean, that's like, I'm not going to lie, it's a huge part of the reason that I currently want to be super rich and wealthy is because I want to, since my childhood, I've always wanted that moment of just being able to walk into a store and buy whatever I wanted, regardless of price, and not even thinking about price. I mean, don't we? That's probably not that unique to me, because I guess we all probably kind of want to do that with whatever it is that you're into. But for me, it probably would have been either Legos or like DVDs. Like, you ever go to a Best Buy and you just walk down the DVD aisle and you're just like, God damn it, I want to buy every single one of these TV show box set seasons, even though you know you can find it online, and like there's no reason for you to buy it because you're probably going to watch it once and then never watch it again. And also now there's Netflix. Do you ever get that feeling? Because I do. And I one day want to just be able to walk down the aisle and just be like, who cares if there's Netflix? I don't give a F. UCK, I'm just gonna buy all of the TV box sets. Forgot what I was talking about there for a second. This is what happens when you do this alone. There's plus sides, there's downsides. There's no one to refute me, but also I'm crazy. So you be the judge. But that's okay. This is more of a placeholder podcast, really, because if we're being frank for a second and we're just being honest, we just want to deliver good content every week. We just want to consistently put out content, even if it's like this and it's low budget and not like other stuff is high budget, but even if it's just me talking to a camera, I think it's more, you know what I'm realizing? I think it's less about you and it's more about me, or us rather. In this case, me, because I'm the only one here. But I think it's about us. I think what this podcast is proving a point that in order to get anywhere in life, in order to succeed at anything, you have to stay consistent. And you have to continuously, I guess in this game, if we're talking specifically about content, you have to keep putting out content. You can't not. Because there are two types of people in this game, and they're the people that are going to come back from the gym at 8 p.m. at night on a Monday when both of their partners in crime have mysteriously disappeared for reasons that we can't figure out or determine. That's not true. I know exactly where they are. I just like making it seem mysterious. But there are people who would come home after that and say, we'll give up. We'll do another podcast next week. We'll just skip this week. But then there's other people who come home and say, screw that. F that noise. We're going to do a podcast even if no one watches, because no one's watching, and I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that I'm talking to myself. But again, this is about me, not you, so stop being selfish. And this is about, I think it's a matter of principle, I think, is what I'm trying to say, is that you need to stick to your principles, you need to stay consistent. And if you're not consistent about what you do, you're never going to get anywhere, because it's really easy to get into a habit of not doing anything. And we wanted to avoid that. So even if, two of us weren't going to be here today, I thought it was important that I be here today, because I made you a promise to deliver you entertainment, or just at least talk to the camera if it's not, I don't know if it's entertaining or not, hopefully it is, to see someone work through their neuroses on camera. which I guess is what the internet is for. But anyway, I made a promise that I was going to be here, and we made a promise that we were going to deliver you stuff every week, and now I'm just running in circles and just saying the same thing over and over again because I'm really tired and I'm not really sure what I'm talking about. Hey, Mark Roberts, what's up, man? Thanks for chiming in. He says you're talking to yourself. That's chaos theory. Yep. Another word for it is crazy, which is what I sound like. I bet you my roommates are like next door or outside going like, who the fuck is he talking to? Like, there's no one else here except for him. Although they know I do a podcast, so they're probably actually just wondering why I'm doing it by myself and like why even bother. Which, like, there's a small version of myself that's asking me that. Like, why even bother? But again, it kind of ties back into what I was saying before, which is just that I think it's important. It was important to me that I stay consistent. Even no one ever watches this, even if this podcast fades away into the spectral graveyard of unwatched podcasts, I can at least, sleep sound at night knowing that I chose to spend my time doing this and we didn't miss a week. So there's that. I think I'm going to get back to the questions now that I was asking myself, because that seems a little bit lighter than really diving deep into the nature of success and consistency. So, let me see if I can find another question that I really like. What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence? This attracted me immediately because, again, I know the answer. It's fucking cauliflower. Nobody likes cauliflower. Anyone who thinks they like cauliflower is really Stockholm syndromed by cauliflower into thinking that they like cauliflower, because there is no possible way in this existence, on this plane of reality, that you can think cauliflower is good. And I know there are some people watching, just kidding, there aren't people watching, except for Mark Roberts, thanks man. But I know there are some people that might watch this later after the fact who will say, but Julian, what about cauliflower with fucking bacon? Or what about cauliflower when it's drenched in ranch? Or what about cauliflower when it's covered in garlic salt? And my response to that is, what do all of those things have in common? It's not about the cauliflower, you dumbass. You don't actually like the cauliflower. You don't actually like the cauliflower. You just like the things that go on top of the cauliflower. So I have the same argument about Brussels sprouts. No one actually likes the flavor of Brussels sprouts or the taste of Brussels sprouts, because truly they taste like feet. Like, don't even kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't pretend like they don't. Don't give me any bullshit about, no, no. They taste and smell like the flavor of a foot that's been in a sandal walking through the desert for a month and 5 days. That is what Brussels sprouts taste like all of the time, always, okay? The only reason that you think you like Brussels sprouts is because someone probably put bacon in it, or probably put bacon and Parmesan in it, or probably drizzled it in an aioli. In which case, again, you don't actually like the Brussels sprouts, dude. You like the things that go on top of it, and you're using the Brussels sprout as a delivery vehicle into your mouth, okay? Excuse me, but it has nothing to do with the Brussels sprouts, or going backwards, cauliflower. So if I had it my way, I guess this just became this is the Riffsters, I guess, right? The question sparked me on a rant about vegetables I don't like. So I guess what I'm saying is that, for those of you that are just joining, is don't be a slave to cauliflower and Brussels sprouts, okay? Don't be Stockholm syndromed, okay? Don't be brainwashed into thinking that you like those things. Just admit that they taste like nothing in the case of cauliflower, and feet in the case of man, I can't talk today. This is crazy. I guess this is what happens when you just talk to yourself for like 20-30 minutes. I mean, how often do people really actually do that? Anyway, point is, I don't even know what the point was. Next question. Let's see. what is the most ridiculous fact you know? I can't think of that off the top of my head. That's a hard question to answer, but I'll come back to that. I'm just gonna let that marinate. Just like your cauliflower dish. What's the best type of cheese? The answer is none, because cheese is awful. What kind of cult would you like to start? Okay. What kind of cult would I like to start? That's a great question. Before I get into that, Mark says, I love the Imperial Samurai on your desk. Presumably you're referring to this one. It's actually the new Praetorian Guard from the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, and I got it on Force Friday, and they're awesome, and they're going to be basically like the updated version of the Emperor's Guard, like the guys in the red cloaks from the original trilogy. Check them out. Google it. You'll love it. It's awesome. And thanks for the compliment. I think it's really cool. What was I saying? Oh, right. What kind of cult would I like to start? So I think about this a lot. And maybe that clues you into my mental state a little bit. I do spend most days under the threat of my narcissism consuming me. Because I like me a lot. And I feel like that's the first step to being a successful cult leader, is to really love yourself, probably more than any other person, and definitely more than you should. Nah, that's not true. You should always love yourself. Anyway, I think that's an important trait of a cult leader, so I'm good there. I think to establish my cult, first I would let that run rampant. I would remove the walls and restrictions that are caging the lion that is my narcissism from consuming me. And I would allow it to flourish in full force. And then I think my cult would be, I don't know exactly what it would be, but I know that I know a couple key things about my cult, or what it would contain. For instance, I know that it would involve cool colors in terms of what people would wear. Like, it would be really cool outfits. Like, it would probably armor. Like, probably something like this. Like, everyone would wear armor because, I don't know. I'm trying to point to it. There we go. Because I don't know why we don't wear armor, because armor is really cool. So probably people would wear armor. And I would love it if everyone had different colors, or if the color indicated what strata of the cult you were in. So basically kind of like the karate white belt, orange belt, yellow belt, up to black belt system. But instead of belts, it was like armor, and you earned it as you went up. And then also I would want it to be based in martial arts, but I am the best, because if I'm the cult leader, I have to be the best at it. And like, I would have probably like a bodyguard, and he would be really cool and probably almost as good as me, but I would be better. So that would be another element of my cult. And I think basically I would just want people, this is going to sound weird, because cults usually are trying to brainwash people into doing things that for the benefit of the cult, but I would actually try and brainwash people to do things for the benefit of themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because it kind of bothers me, to be honest, that people blindly devote themselves to any single idea or belief, because I feel like the best thing about life is that it's open for you to experience the wealth of what humankind has come up with and all of the stuff out there. So why limit yourself to just a single method of thinking? So my cult would actually be reverse, in that I would try to get people to actually think broadly and about things that about everything, and trying to basically develop their own worldview. And my cult would be one of freedom and prosperity, and really cool armor would be key. Again, key component is really badass colored armor, because why not? And I'm trying to think if there's any other elements of my cult that I would have. Can't really think of anything off the top of my head, so I'm going to move on to the next question. I've just switched to a different list now, just for shits and giggles. Do you have a secret talent, and what is it? I do have a secret. Well, I don't know if you could call it a talent per se, because it doesn't really. It's not like I learned it or practiced it. it's more just a thing that I can do, but it's kind of cool, and I've done it in talent shows, which is why I think it counts. So basically, I'm double jointed in my elbow, so I can do this. Oh my god, that looks even weirder than I'm used to. I haven't done it in a while, so it kind of hurts. So that's like my elbows can do that, and like I can make my arms go like that, which looks so weird. So I guess that's a talent, or a thing that I can do, and that I'll usually do in talent shows. So there's that. What are some of your guys' talents? Comment below. I don't know why I said that. No one's watching, and no one's gonna comment. But if you happen upon this, or 1,000 years from now, an alien comes and finds this, I hope that they're weirded out by that, my elbow thing. So there's that. What is one unique thing? This question is written wrong. It says, what is one unique thing are you afraid of? I think it means that you are afraid of. This kind of gets deep. If I'm giving the non-humorous answer and I'm being honest, I'm afraid of mediocrity, which sounds kind of pretentious, but it's true. I'm afraid of becoming 35, 40, 50 years old and being at the same level as everyone else. Not that I think I'm better than other people, but I want to, it's not that I think I'm better or that I want to be better than other people, but I do want to have achieved more. Because I think there are people who are going to achieve a lot in life, and there are people who won't achieve a lot, as much in life. And that's totally up to your motivation and passion and fire, which one you, which category you fall in. And I guess I'm afraid that I won't accomplish those things, and that people will think less of me or make fun of me for being the person that had all these ideas constantly and thought they were going to do these big things and then didn't actually make it happen. Because I'm the guy who's been telling everyone I know since I was like 11 or 12 that I was going to be like blindingly wealthy one day and living on an island, and I was going to buy an island and the usual. But like for most people it's a joke, and I don't think it's ever been a joke for me. So I'm afraid that I won't achieve that, and that I'll forever be that person that's like constantly talking about ideas, but it's not cool anymore when you're like 45 and people are like, okay, but like you didn't do anything in your life. So I guess that's one unique thing that I'm afraid of. That got pretty dark. We're gonna go to a lighter question. Let's see. No, that's stupid. No, that's stupid. Hold on. Sorry guys, I'm having a hard time finding questions. But thanks for sticking with me. Riffster Nation. Riffsterinas. What's the best Wi-Fi name you've ever seen? That's a good question. Traylon, what's up, man? He just joined. How's it going, dude? Thanks for joining. Thanks for being my second live viewer. One of only 2 people currently watching me talk to myself. I'm not talking to myself anymore. Thanks for that. You guys have enabled me now to be able to say that I'm actually not crazy because I'm not having a conversation with myself, so that's cool. The question that I'm about to answer is, what's the best Wi-Fi name you've ever seen? And I've seen several, so I think I'll just run through the ones that I've seen that are really good. I saw, I think probably, well, my favorite one I think is probably Bill Y, the Science Fi. I thought that one was hilarious and super clever. Dana's Wi-Fi is pretty good. Hers is the Routers of Rohan, because she's a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. So I think that one's pretty good. Let me actually just open up my Wi-Fi thing and see what I got here. We have Jarvis. That's a pretty good one. I would have stolen that one if that one wasn't already taken. This one guy is nice try. So that's kind of funny, because he thinks you're gonna hack him, even though who the hell would hack your crappy Time Warner Wi-Fi, you dumbass. Jay Sizzle is another one, so that guy's obviously a douchebag. That's about it for the funny ones. There's Junos, Junos, Costa 5G, M. Thompson. Jesus Christ, how basic are you to name your Wi-Fi network your first initial and your last name? Like, could you possibly be more of a vanilla basic bitch? I mean, like, name it Skizzlefreud, or like Hockey Schnock, or Booble Trap. Like, just like any other combination of letters besides the first initial of your first name and your last name. Like, for real, be a better person than that. Be more exciting. I don't know what to tell you, M. Thompson. Just like be more. Be better than that. Jesus Christ. Ours, in case you're wondering, my Wi-Fi is more success, which I think ties in nicely to my answer to the previous question about what I'm afraid of. And what I'm afraid of is not being successful. And as if to be divine proof that I'm not lying about my fear, I've literally named my Wi-Fi More Success. So that should tell you everything you need to know about what goes on here between this beautiful sideburn and this beautiful sideburn. There's a whole bunch of crazy neuroses that particularly come out when I'm talking to the camera by myself without, other human beings around. So thanks for that, Derek and Dana. This is your fault. But I feel like we've gotten some good nuggets out of this live session. I've had fun. I've entertained myself, which really is all you can ask, because what's life without whimsy? If you don't entertain yourself, then really who's going to entertain you? So I'm pretty happy with just talking to myself, because I have a good time. And if you let me, I could probably talk for 7 hours straight. So I'm chilling. I don't know about the audience, but I'm enjoying myself. So there's that. Hey, I just got 2 hearts that popped on the screen. That was kind of cool. I don't know who that was, though. Oh, Traylon. That was Traylon who popped a heart on my screen. Thanks, man. It's always nice to see. It just goes boink and then floats across the screen. That's kind of cool. Dude, we have to have you on as a guest. So if you ever make it out to LA, we should have you on as a guest. I think you'd be great on the Riffsters Podcast, or any number of shows that we're trying to launch. I guess I can talk about that a little bit before I sign off here. I think I'm approaching time. Let's see. I've been going for about 40 minutes, which is about our usual time. If anyone catches this later, or if you're watching this live, just kind of an update on the state of Riffsters affairs. We are in production right now on 2 new series, basically, because the idea of the Riffsters podcast, the idea of the Riffsters as a brand, as an entertainment entity, was never just a podcast. We just do that right now because obviously we have jobs and we have busy lives, and the 3 of us agreed that this was something we could do every Monday. And it's funny that I'm saying this now when they're not here, but we agreed that this was something that we had the bandwidth to do. And now that we've been doing this for a while, we've done, I think this is our 9th podcast, or 8th podcast, maybe 8th, but we're approaching 10 at any rate. And we want to start launching some new series, because we want this this channel, this Facebook page, whatever you call it, wherever you follow us, we want this to be sort of a multifaceted entertainment channel. So with that in mind, we have 2 series that we're in production on. Sorry, it took me a long time to circle back to that point. I realize I talk like this. I kind of talk cyclically, where like I'll start a point, and instead of just drawing it to its end conclusion, I'll go like all the way around here to eventually land here. So apologies for those people who have to be in conversation with me and deal with that. But I digress again. The point is, 2 series in production. We have, I guess actually 3 series technically in production, 2 though that are going to launch soon. So we have a series of digital shorts, basically sketches, fun little short films that we've made. We've got a couple of those coming out, and I think you guys will really like those. Those will be really fun. We're hoping that those kind of expand our reach a little bit and get people to come to the page and stay for the podcast, stay for the sketches. So we got the sketches coming soon. We've been working on those for a while. Dana, me, Derek have all been kind of writing, directing, acting, doing the whole shebang. And so season 1 of our digital shorts is coming soon, and we're also going to try and launch something called either Wacky Wednesday or Weird Wednesday or something along those lines. But basically, we just want any like random kind of like viral video concepts that we can think of. We're going to start throwing on Wednesday. So I don't want to spoil what the concept is that we've come up with for the first season of that, but it's, I think, hilarious, and will hopefully get us 1 million views or millions of views and make us like thousands and thousands of dollars in ad money, which we can then reinvest in better equipment, better production quality, so I'm not just doing this in my goddamn room. We can actually get maybe a little space, rent out a little space and do things, and just reinvest that back into this brand and help it grow. So, to recap, digital shorts coming, viral video concepts coming, and the podcast, as always, will go on. And I refuse to let the podcast not happen, even if my 2 compatriots are otherwise predisposed, which they both are. I think, what did I say at the beginning of the show? I think I said Dana is in the Amazon protecting local wildlife from poachers, and Derek got called away on a consulting assignment last minute regarding Martian climate change. So they're both very busy. They have good reasons for not being here tonight. So I'm holding down the fort. But anyway, thanks for joining, anyone who joined. I think Mark, Traylon, you guys are the only 2 people that watched live, so shout out to you. And we'll see you next time on the Riffsters Podcast, hopefully with at least one more of my partners, if not both. So we'll see you guys next Monday, and stay tuned for more goodness coming up soon. Alright, peace, deuces, arrivederci, hasta mañana, hasta luego, adios, ohayo no, that's hello that's hello in Japanese. I don't know how to say bye in Japanese. Okay, I'm ending the stream now.